returning back to my therapy from April. Now that we're done with the little sidetrack that just happened, one of the biggest takeaway that I had from it happened during the first session. There's a few things, but the absolute unexpected and unexpected. Let's go with that. Through that day, I was trying to say something at one point, but I kept losing track of what I was saying. My mind would go off because it's also a little bit harder to focus when you're on the medicine and the journey. But also, I lose a lot of times that happens to me normally too. It's just not quite, It's like the words, sometimes you're just like behind glass, or I just have a hard time piecing together what I want to say. But I've always got this seed of what I'm trying to say inside of me, and it's just like taking it from whatever's inside of me and getting it to words is sometimes a little difficult for me, even normally, but on the therapy journey, even more so. The therapist would tell me, it's like, oh, it's okay, it's normal to be like this, when you're on that. I told her, I was like, yeah, but this is normal for me outside of it too. But as I was trying to get back to her, I was saying that. In fact, I was telling her, like, I still know what I want to say. It's just so close, but I can't find it. Or that I'd get off on a sidetrack and then find something else, and I'd come back to it a little bit, and then I'd go off on another sidetrack. The scenic route. It's what I do. And then I realized, I went off on the sidetrack, trying to go back, and still trying to find the words. But I'm like, but what I'm saying, it's all connected and it's all there. But through all of that, eventually I started telling her, I was using my, oh, there we go, that's gone. Nope. Sorry, one of those little, doesn't matter. Random little sensation in it. I was using my hands more and more. And I'll tell her, like, I was getting a little self-conscious about just how much I was needing to use my hands. And I talk with my hands, you see me. But this is a little different. And it was helping me to process. And so I was telling her, it's like, hey, me using my hands like this is for you partly, but it's actually for me more because it's helping me. And I was kind of like telling her, like, I'm just kind of sort of translating for my hands. Kind of. I mean, hands can only tell you so much. But through that all, I got to speed up. This is probably, I've been talking for too long. Through it all, I was using different hand signals. Like earlier in the day, I've been trying to go into myself to try to get at something, but I couldn't quite get there. But I found I kept doing this a lot. Like this hand, it was pushing it away. Like there was a part of me that didn't want to go in. It was interesting. But as I was talking more, and I started talking more about using my hands, especially once I finally got to the original point of what I was trying to talk about and say, then I started talking about the whole thing with using my hands more and more. Because throughout the whole thing, I kept telling her, like, I'm still translating for my hands. I'm still trying to figure this out. But my hands were actually helping me to go in and to piece things together and to say them. So then I was talking more about how that was using it and how it was feeling. And I don't remember exactly how it all went. But in the end, I said, I'm probably talking for too long now. This was supposed to be fast. And the reason I'm redoing this is because I'm trying to. I'm I'm trying to do this faster than I did it in the original video the same night. But now I can tell I'm not going any faster. I'm not going any faster. I'm not making this more succinct. And this is really bothering me. My shoulders are tense. It came out through that as best as I can tell, there's a part of me that can use my hands in this way, in this very slow and methodic way. And when I'm doing this, I'm just, whatever movement feels right to me is what I'm doing. And it kind of has a meaning, but kind of doesn't. It's just, sometimes it can help me to find what's inside, helps me to process and to slow down and then be able to find what I'm trying to say. Other times it helps me to kind of drop into my heart space. So regulation, finding what I'm looking for, and going into my heart space. These are the three things it seems to help me with. And what's interesting is I was using this same gesture eventually to refer to that part, except I was no longer trying to push away. It was just more like that instead of, so I don't know if that's related to what was happening earlier, something completely unrelated when I was trying to go in, but I did find that interesting. I kept doing this about needing time to process my thoughts. That's obviously a watch, except where the watch is on, yeah. Hello bug, bye bug. But through all this talking about that part of me, and I've talked about it more, how it's helped me. But then the whole time I was using my hands to try to find the words to express how it was helping me. But then eventually it kind of came out, and this is all from me, no prompts or anything like that, that as far as I could tell, my own mind suppressed using this much slower way of using my hands to slow me down, possibly when I was like anywhere between 2 and 4, 2 and 5. I mean, I get the impression I was really super young before I even had a memory of doing this. But it suppressed using this as a tool to help me because it perceived that it wouldn't be acceptable to the outside world to do this. When I was like super young, I have no memories of ever doing this because I wasn't old enough. So it's not like I have a memory of, oh, I intentionally suppressed it because I was doing it. It's like I have no memories. This is just what, as to best of my knowledge, as I was talking through this and talking more about it, started coming up inside of me, and I was trying to figure out what felt true. I asked my therapist, Connie, later, like, did I just make this up? Or did this really happen? I don't know. I have no memories. And she told me, that rang is really true. When you said it, it did not feel to me like you were making this up. And then my bestie, I talked to her the next day, I told her about it, and she's like, yeah, that feels like you're telling the truth there. She's like, and also, it sounds like you. It sounds like your mind would do something like that. It sounds like you would say something. And my own therapist, when I got home, I told him, and he also said that yeah, no, this rings true to me too. It's like our minds do some really bizarre, crazy stuff when just the first few years of our lives. We form so much stuff going on. So I got two very skilled therapists and my bestie, and also one of my other best friends here. He's just like, yeah. I told him about it. He's like, yeah, I could see that. Multiple people, skilled people, and people who know me well going, this rings true, Ken. It is interesting because even if I was something I made up, which I don't believe it is, it still tells you that no matter which way you flip it, my mind fooled me at one point. My mind either fooled me when I was really young, or it fooled me just the other month. Either way you flip it. But after I got home from the therapy, I had 30 days of where had routines. I made some routines to try to just integrate things from their therapy. Sometimes it was intuition exercises. Sometimes it wasn't directly related to it, but it is enough. Journaling stuff, mirror work. But I also included practicing this in the mirror every day, whether I needed it or not. A lot of times I found I need it when I start losing my words. It can help me. When I want to shift down into my heart space, it can help me. But just to keep it in me, I was practicing it. You've probably seen some of my videos that have come up since then. I haven't had too many because I'm still doing the gratitude videos. I'm still in the backlog. But there have been some other videos where you might have seen me doing this a little bit as I was talking. Particularly the last long video that I had with the Shine Down song. That was me using this to help me to regulate. A lot of times I find like when I was talking about like piecing things together as we were talking, I was just doing this. And I was like, it's kind of like, to me, it's to symbolize taking things from my mind and bringing it into my heart, I guess is what it kind of feels like to me, and more processing. It's really interesting. It has been helpful. I wasn't sure at the time. I wasn't sure what I would do with it because I was like, well, this is new to me. Still a little uncomfortable. Do I let people see this? But it does help me. And like, totally unexpected. I did not expect this to come out through any of this stuff. I had no idea because I talk with my hands all the time. In fact, I told one of the ladies, talking with someone at the Toastmasters, right after this, I'd come back and she'd ask me, and I told her a little bit about this, but I told her, I was like, you know how I talk with my hands? And she's like, Ken, you talk with your whole body. So it's not, unexpected, but this is just something that's different. So yeah, but this feels like this has probably been a good 15 minutes. I have to see, but we'll see. Let me see how this went. There's more to it than that, but I think there's definitely more stuff I want to talk about from that day, but trying to break it up into smaller pieces. So I'll see how this goes. I might have to do it again. Anyway, take care.